Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV and my match reaction after Liverpool were beaten on the south coast at the hands of Bournemouth 3-2. Late heartbreak for the Reds. But honestly, I'm struggling to have any level of sympathy for us because I'm struggling to find excuses, not that I want to, because I don't think we warrant nor deserve them, to be honest, because at times, yeah, we showed fight and a bit of character to come back from 2-0 down, and that should be mentioned and applauded and credited somewhat. But my word, was a shambolic defensively at times as well. Absolute shambles. Honestly, I cannot get to grips with what I've just watched at times, and it's so not in keeping with what we were last season, certainly, and at times have been this season as well. We just looked unrecognisable. And I get, do you stick or twist? Do you go chasing the game, having made it 2-2 and having come back in the manner that you've done? We clearly decided to twist, or certainly the lads on the pitch decided to twist and try and win it, and rightfully so as well, because you've got to. Ultimately, you've got to break the drawing habit at some point. So I don't really blame us for that. But the way we went about it was just wild. Like how open we were and how susceptible we were, how dangerous Bournemouth appeared to be was just nuts and beyond belief, really, considering I've got a lot of time for Antonio Viola. I've got a lot of time for Bournemouth, generally speaking, as a football club, the way they run and the way they punch above their weight, to be honest, and the way they've dealt with losing key players time and time again, including recently, of course, Antoine Semenyo, and they lost 3 of the back 4 last year, and they keep managing to be competitive and give out bloody noses left, right and centre. And, they deserve credit for what they've been able to do tonight as well, because I don't know whether it's because we're so vulnerable and so easy to play against and clearly have weaknesses all over the pitch, but they always felt like they could win the game, like the changes they made, even when the momentum was all against them, they still had that belief and that hunger and the desire to think, no, there's still a goal in this for us. And my word, do we make it easy for them. Yeah, we give encouragement in that sense, I think it's fair to say, because, yeah, just so open at the back. Like, I get we're trying to chase the game, I get we want a winner, but the way we play and the way we offer teams the freedom of the pitch, the whole midfield to run through us at times. Like, Ryan Christie's a decent player, but he was waltzing around our midfield at times, like just non-existent, just right through the middle of us, carved us open time and time again. We were lucky we weren't 3-2 down before we were 3-2 down. Evan Hills had a massive chance, and don't get me wrong, we had a couple of relatively strong chances ourselves in that passage of play, but that was a gilt-edged chance, and he had 2 or 3 of them. Alex Scott had one over the bar as well. Like, I'm baffled. Absolutely, I'm baffled. I don't know what I'm watching right now, honestly, and that is the biggest disappointment for me, actually, today. Listen, the result, obviously, and what it means for the Premier League and how tight that top 4/5 race is going to be is one thing in of itself. But it's the fact that we had that midweek performance and win, and I was so encouraged by that. I came off the back of that thinking that was so much more like it. And I know we've had highs in Europe already this season, but it was so convincing to go from being that to this. Chalk and cheese, Jekyll and Hyde. And I really felt like, I feel stupid, foolish of me to think this, but maybe that was a turning point and maybe that was a moment. Maybe we could build some momentum off the back of it. Maybe we could get into a rhythm, having, had some recent decent draws, if you can call them that, and the winning midweek. Maybe now we can start looking like our true selves and show our true colours. The opposite. Maybe they were our true colours. Maybe that's what we are as a football team right now. Yeah, baffled. Anyway, the goals. We actually... Having said all of that negativity for the first 4 and a bit minutes, we actually started the game okay. Like, I was actually relatively pleased with how we went about the opening exchanges. I thought we looked relatively comfortable, dictated the lion's share possession, got into some dangerous areas, guilty of trying to walk the ball into the back of the net, I think, a few too many times, and maybe having a proper goal might have been better served. A couple of poor decisions in the final third. Mo Salah was guilty of that. Cody Gakpo was certainly guilty of that as well. Florian Wirtz, I think, falls into that category. A lot of what we're trying to do clearly goes through Florian Wirtz. We're trying to get into positions, giving the freedom to hurt teams. And I think, generally speaking, that's a decent game plan because he is brilliant. But I think once or twice he gets the pass wrong or the decision wrong, like I say, which means it all breaks down. And then we get hurt because defensively, we have lapses of concentration, of desire, and Bournemouth punished us. One long straight ball, not defended by Virgil van Dijk, just switched off completely, allows the ball to run into the path of Alex Scott, I believe it is, pulls it back to an unmarked Evan Nilsson, just to fire home. Simple as that. Joe Gomez gets injured in the act of that goal being conceded. Salt to the wounds. He's forced off because of that, because obviously just bad to worse at that moment, and Joe Gomez being our, obviously, Ibu Konate cover replacement, with Ibu being away in understandable circumstances, means we have to go to Rosario Endo from the bench because we haven't got an out-and-out natural centre-half there, so the whole thing just feels like it's imploding in front of our very eyes. And to make matters worse, whilst Joe Gomez is off the pitch because he's injured, we go and concede the second. Just a mess. A royal mess, and kind of sums up where we're at right now, to be honest. Seemingly Arne Slot and Chipka Hulshoff are fuming because we haven't kicked the ball out of play. Alisson Becker likewise, subsequently after we've conceded the goal, the whole thing. And there's a passage of play whereby we do keep the ball for quite a prolonged spell. I think it's about 6 minutes, the whole thing. We don't have the ball for that long, because obviously. And then we don't kick it out at any point. We try and get something, create a moment. And then Bournemouth win it back, and I'm like, well, they're not going to kick it out, because why would they? To allow us to make the change. We're obviously going to play on at this point. So, yeah, no blame attached to Bournemouth for that whatsoever. Solely at our feet, that one. And then the second goal, well taken from Bournemouth once again. I think it's Virgil van Dijk playing him onside. It's tight, but it's right. We've had a bit of luck in that department as well in recent weeks when it comes to tight offside calls, so no real complaints from me, but again, the ease with which they're able to carve us open and play it through us is scary. It's frightening actually at times. And as mentioned, we managed to get a foothold back in the game from a set piece, the lesser seen Liverpool corner goal. I think that's 2 now from 120 odd corners this season. Look at us go. And yeah, Virgil van Dijk near post, comes off his shoulder in the end, I think. It was just a near post run, all pretty simplistic, really, nothing too imaginative about the whole thing. But it felt big because scoring before half time and getting some semblance of momentum and potentially comeback felt massive. And duly, we actually responded quite well in the second half. It was an open game, very end to end, but actually we were okay. And then Dom Szoboszlai, wonderful free kick, like set back to him by Mo Salah, opens up, changes the angle a little bit, and Szoboszlai finishes excellently. He has been sensational, as he all season long. He's one of the few players, Barnsley, brain fart notwithstanding, who comes out of this season thus far with immense credit and loads of plaudits. There's a couple of others as well, but Szoboszlai has been excellent and was again today. But yeah, in terms of what we could have done differently, I do think when the game goes 2-2 in such a weird game state, admittedly, and we are trying to win it, like I mentioned at the top, we have to retain some balance. Like, we just lost it entirely. We've thrown the kitchen sink at it. He's made all his subs more or less by that point. Like, we go to Rio, we throw out all the stops to try and win the game, and Rio actually wins the free kick for the goal that comes to get the equaliser, so credit to him for that as well. But I don't know whether it is the changes and whether we have, because Frimpong's gone off, we've gone to Szoboszlai right back. Like, we've done all the usual tricks, if you like, when it comes to Liverpool chasing games, and it's just a mess. Like, but honestly, I cannot, you will have watched it, but I cannot express how open we were in the closing stages. And again, we do create one or two moments ourselves. There's a moment where Petrovic actually tips it behind from Florian Wirtz, should have been a corner, goal kick given. Yeah, but mate, that last 15-20 minutes was nuts. And there was a couple of times they just walked, twirling a cane through the middle of midfield, and I was at a loss. Like, my head was in the bin watching Ryan Christie just skip through us. It was so poor. Not one midfielder engaged with him. Not one midfielder took responsibility and went, this can't be happening. This isn't right. No one did, let alone the midfield. Just poor. And then the goal is a mess. It's indicative of our entire season once again. It smacked the Crystal Palace away. Long throw comes in. They get the initial contact. Goes back out for another long throw on the other side. Comes across. Mad scramble in the box. Absolute mess. Bodies everywhere. People lying on the floor all over the place. Squeezed in at the near post. Job's a good one. Perfect. Our season in a nutshell, basically. 3-2. Real fight on our hands to salvage something domestically, Premier League wise, i.e. the top 4, top 5. Champions League, different conversation, see what happens. FA Cup likewise. We've got a dogfight to get into the top 4, and if we carry on performing like the way we are, we're not going to win that fight, to be honest. And what I will say as well, just to finish, I know I've gone on a lot, is I like Liverpool signing footballers, and I think if it's for the betterment of us, then do it, especially in terms of incomings, and that counts for outgoings as well, i.e. don't let Andy Robertson leave. But we are now in a crisis when it comes to transfers. I believe it will be, I don't know, the words I want to say, I think it would be horrendous if we didn't sign anyone between now and the end of the window. Listen, the Joe Gomez thing might be something of nothing, could be minor, might be back next week. Hopefully, obviously, Bukanate is good to come back at some point, whatever that may be. That's up to him. Not going to put any sort of time frame on that whatsoever, because it's not my place to do so, clearly. Horrible thing that he's gone through, of course. But regardless of him, regardless of Joe Gomez, we need defensive reinforcements. We nearly signed Mark Gahey last summer, didn't on deadline day. And since then, so we felt like we needed another body in the door defensively. Since then, all that's happened is we've lost Giovanni Leone for the season. We've lost Conor Bradley for the season. There's talk of Andy Robertson going. Joe Gomez is currently injured. Like, it hasn't got better. The defensive situation has not got better. It's been the opposite. There's 2 keepers on the bench again today. Like, come on. Do me a favour. Anyway, that's it. My arm's gonna fall off and I need to stop talking. So thanks for watching and to me rambling on for the past 12 minutes. See you all soon.